everyone, it's Dr. Erin here, one of the Good Doctors of Abbey Research. Happy Monday, March 9th. And for today's Good Doctors Diagnose, I'm going to spend a few minutes talking a little bit about what leadership looks like in stock photos. This is kind of an ongoing mini-series, if you will, to our series, Good Doctors Diagnose. We've talked about representation in stock photos before and the importance of finding people of color, people of different sizes, people of different abilities represented in your stock photos to project to the world that you are an accepting and diverse and inclusive workforce for whatever reason you might be using stock photos. But because it's National Women's History Month here in the US, we're going to be focusing a little bit more on some gender-specific issues. And one of them that I would like to talk about is the lack of diversity that we usually see in stock photos that project or showcase kind of what we would say are stereotypical representations of leadership. So there's a lot of words to say. In short, what I mean is usually when we have a picture of a meeting or a presentation that's happening, that's taking place, you're in a conference room, you're in a boardroom, you're in a seminar room where there's a presentation taking place, for a long time, the only people represented in positions of leadership, the people standing at the table, the people pointing to the images behind them on the screen, giving the presentation, leading the meeting in that sense, were predominantly white men. And this is a big problem, even though that we know statistically white men tend to be the highest number of people in leadership and management positions. But we know that this is changing, and this is changing dramatically. Women make up 52% of the workforce, but they're a fraction of people in leadership and management positions. And this intersection carries on when you look at different racial disparities as well. So people of color who are women who are not represented in positions of leadership. Likewise, people of different gender identities, whether they're transgender, gender fluid, gender non-binary. Not any of that is usually depicted in terms of positions of leadership. And this is one of those moments where we would like to see a shift in that, even if it doesn't necessarily represent the reality of the situation. It should be an aspirational goal to show that no matter what you look like, no matter how you see yourself, what your gender identity is, what your sexual orientation is, what your differing abilities are, if you are capable at doing the job that you are assigned and you are capable of being in a position of leadership, then you should be represented as one. So going forward, we would encourage you to check out the stock photos that you use when you're depicting one of these leadership scenarios, and see if you can dig around and find a couple of positions and pictures that might represent a different viewpoint and certainly different looking humans. Again, I'll share the links below in the resources, but Unsplash and Burst are two of our go-tos for these types of Pittsburgh's on the mind, pictures. And I know off the top of my head, I can think of at least 5 or 6 on Burst already that show women, and particularly women of color, in positions of leadership in these scenarios. So have a think about that as you're going forward through Women's History Month and throughout the rest of the year. And it's always good to take stock of your stock photos and what they are saying about you and your organization. That's everything I've got for this Good Doctors Diagnose. We'll see you again on Wednesday. Take care, everybody.